For many, many years, we taught success. Many, many, many years. And we would observe how it would take people to the brink. I've seen people self-sabotage around success. I've seen people build massive egos around success. I've seen people own their success, and I've seen people implode around their success, okay? I have seen, sadly, more implosions than real wins. Okay, so that's what we're talking about here. And when you're in the world of helping people to build success, that could be financial success. It could be social success. It could be dating attraction success. It could be successful being happy, successing the world, whatever that is. Whatever is your version of success. When you see that, and you've been working in this area for 20 years, the way Julie and I have, 30 years combined actually. How long have you been in here? A decade?
Teaching, yeah, 11 years now.
11 years now, okay? So we're at exactly 30 years between the two of us, okay? And Julie and I have coached some of the most famous people in the world. We've coached some of the people that were the hardest case in the world, and we've coached everything in between. And what we've seen, sadly, is that the majority of people who we would see build themselves up would later implode. Julien himself, as they call him, actually became a victim of that same self-sabotage in 2014, where he was getting really, really successful, and he started using an edgy form of marketing and kind of pushing the envelope, and he had a full-blown, legendary, global implosion, okay? And it was insane. And what happened was both of us had to go back to the drawing board, and we had to be like, you know what? There's something going on here. We've seen many different friends who got successful, they implode. We've seen our own success implode. What's causing this? And why is it that so many of us, even when we're successful, struggle to be truly happy? So that was what we started to look at. And we had to go very, very deep down some of the deepest rabbit holes that you've ever seen, into areas that were so bizarre and off the wall, and kind of come back to the village with that big pile of gold. So that is the big pile of gold that we are here to leave you with tonight. Are you guys excited about this? Yeah! Okay, epic.
So let this land and even write it down. We think failure is scary, right? I don't want to fail. I don't want things to not go my way. I want to succeed, right? So you think. But you want to know what's scarier than failing? Succeeding. By far. Why? Because failure is familiar. You're used to it. Sure, it sucks, but remember this. Deep down inside, especially when it comes to trauma, you don't care if it sucks or not. Your DNA doesn't necessarily care if it sucks or not. What does it care about? Is this comfortable? Is this known? And guess what? Everyone here, you're working on moving up. What are you used to? Not necessarily being up there. Or you might have moved up a bit, and it's still a little bit unfamiliar, and you can kind of tiptoe it, but there always is that ceiling where if you pass it, self-sabotage kicks in. And this goes really deep. Again, we've seen it for years, even before that whole scandal, right? The thing that held so many people back isn't failure or fear of failure, although you might think, right? Oh, I want to say hi to that person. No, I don't want to fail. I'm a little scared. You'd be much more scared if you went up and you said hi to someone, and they're like, oh, hey, with a huge smile. You're like, what? People freak out when things go well. And the way self-sabotage will seep in will be so subtle. Okay, here's a personal example when I started making some money. Okay, when I first moved to America, I was really broke. I was on minimum wage, like at the time it was like $8, and I think I got it $8.25 and $8.50 an hour. That was my raise, $8.50 an hour. And I was working at places like the Coffee Bean, which is like Starbucks.
We actually met each other at Lucky Brand Jeans.
He came in, no joke, and I was selling the jeans. And in my mind, I'm like, I know him. It's like, literally, that was my experience meeting Owen, and then we'd see each other out and stuff. But like, that was the first time I was like, oh, would you like some jeans? That was it. Now, going from that, and that was my identity too. It's like, well, I guess this is what makes sense for me. This is what's familiar. Going from that to starting to have a little bit of success, right? Then started teaching, traveling around the world, being pretty successful. It would seep in the weirdest ways where now I had some money, and instead of being like, oh great, I have money, the only thing I'd be thinking is, how do I spend this? How do I spend this? Must spend this, must spend this. And as the money would go up, I'd feel less and less comfortable. I'm like, this is not known, this is not me, this does not compute, this does not resonate. And you will rationalize the weirdest ways. Where I'd be traveling, I'm like, well, you know what? I think I need a better suitcase. What's the most expensive suitcase you can buy? Buy that. Oh, you know what? I think I should optimize, some of these, I took like these supplements, and I think supplements are great, especially now necessary, but I just went so overboard on some, and I would just literally, it was insane. I'd spend all my money on these subtle ways where it seems like it makes sense, but it really didn't. Massive self-sabotage. Another example is when I first launched my digital course, right? Back in 2014, very first course, to make that and to put it out was so difficult. And I'd find myself what we call doing productive procrastination. Things where it seems like you're being productive, but you're actually staying stuck, right? Instead of doing that one thing, which, by the way, another amazing book, read it, it's called The One Thing. If you ask yourself right now, between you and your goals, that ideal life, whatever it is, success, what's the one thing that'll give you the biggest ROI, the most important thing you should be doing right now? For me, what was it at the time? Launching that product. That product would take my brand to a whole other level. It would take my life to a whole other level, into a whole new reality, a whole new paradigm that I wasn't used to, into the unknown. And the unknown, whether it's good or bad, we fear it. And I'd put it off. I'm like, you know what, instead of working on the product, I'm gonna work on my social media banners. That's important, right? I should take a look at some of these photos and stuff for the product, make sure it's perfect. Now, does that help? Sure. Is that the most important thing? No. And I would just do that just to stay stuck. And I had to really plow through to get that thing to launch. Now guess what? As soon as it launched, there's some more money. And immediately, what do I spend it on starts going down. Then, as we discussed, things led up and led up. The whole thing imploded, and I had to really sit down and examine, like, what is this? Where does this come from? Okay? Number one, as we said, we fear the unknown. We like what's familiar, even though it might be very, very painful. You just like it. That's your comfort zone. Okay? Number two, it's bringing your awareness to core beliefs and your core identity. Everyone has this, an identity, who you consider yourself to be, right? If you want an exercise, by the way, write down, I am, and then just let your mind flow. And just see whatever comes up, and just write it down. I am what? Or I deserve whatever. You can also look at yourself in the mirror and say, I deserve success. And you will sense if there's some incongruency, right? When people say, I love myself, it's like, I love myself. They can't let it land.
Yeah, what he's trying to get you to do, so right now, go in your body and imagine a really, really good situation, okay? And a situation that has less chaos in it, or a situation that is really prosperous, for example, okay? It has a lot of options. And go in your body right now and just see how that feels in your body, okay? Now, notice the gap between what you feel right now and how that would feel. So what he talked about with this product, every single instructor on our team, we've watched them go through. So you got to understand, try to really process this for a minute, okay? We're this young little organization, young people, all coming from pretty messed up backgrounds, right? And all of us are doing things like building social media or building products. All of us are doing this collectively, our whole squad. And we're seeing what everybody's doing. And all of us are building 7-figure incomes at a really high level, right? All of us are, together collectively, we're going into 8 figures a year in sales. So we're watching a lot of young people that are maybe not ready for it, okay, to say the least, building multi-million-dollar income streams, building into tens of millions of dollars of income streams, building fame, building money, building creative output, building a higher profile. So we have seen this up close. When you guys here are saying things like, I want to be famous, or I want to make money, or I want to get better at attracting people or bringing people into my life, or I want to be happier. To us, me and Julien sitting up here, we're here to support you and we want to help you build it, but it also looks like a complete and utter joke, okay? We're like, this person is not ready. We'll show you the tools, but literally it's like arming a kid with a bazooka. It's like, Daddy, I want a bazooka for Christmas. And you're like, here you go, little kid. And it's like, this is awesome, right? Like goes to school, blows up at school, like, whoa, right? That's what we were as we built our business. Because look, some people come from wealthy parents. Some people grow up around success. So you're kind of pre-wired for that. It's normal for you to be sitting on your estate, sipping a little cappuccino, the butler comes, the private jet comes, peacefully go on it, a little bit of networking at the club and so on and so forth. Completely normal. But for someone who comes from a rough background, we've seen what happened, for example, to Britney Spears. And we've seen what's happened to most celebrities who make a bunch of cash, they get some fast acceleration, and then boom, they blow it up. You've probably all heard the statistics around the lottery that as soon as people make money, within 5 years, they're back to being broke. And by the way, this is one of the major problems that we're having societally, because there's a lot of people that are coming in saying, hey, we should get some free money. And I'm looking at this, I'm going, yo, if me giving you free money will fix this, take it all. but I got a bunch of money, and I'll tell you how messed up I was around it. I think what's going to happen if we were to just give everybody a bunch of money, it'd be like collectively giving a bunch of kids the bazooka, and everybody be shooting each other. Like, have you ever seen Wonder Woman 1984, where they all get their wish and the whole world is imploding? In my view, that movie is actually pretty on point. I think that is what would happen. We'll get in deeper with why that is. But the first thing that you've got to understand is that you have a feeling in your body. You'd call that your energy body. That's your state set point. And if we're talking about putting you to a state that's higher prosperity, more dopamine, more happiness, and the big one here, more peace. Right now, if you go walk through a park, can you be at peace? Yes. Be honest, most of you can't. No. You maybe could, most of you can't. Can any of you sit there and meditate for 5 minutes and be at peace? Can you not stare at your phone for 35 seconds? Look at all of society walking down the street, staring into their phone. Look at it. Absorb that. That's where most people's consciousness is at. And we're always looking for the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. We can't enjoy getting what we want. How many times have you been talking to somebody in a bar or club, they're really attracted to you, and it's the kind of person you want to meet, and if you just be chill, you'd run off into the night together in this win-win, beautiful, romantic way, and it'd be spontaneous, it'd be fun. And rather than just being cool and letting it land and just not putting your foot in your mouth, you're like, the wiggity joke, and they're like, ugh. And it's like you're trying too hard. You mess it up somehow. You're doing too much. If I were to bring you right now out to a networking event with a bunch of rich people or famous people, would you really just be able to go there and be chill? Or would you be hella weird, super creepy, overthinking about it, thinking of all the little transactional things of how you could get them in your social media or make money off them or get their approval? Could you actually be cool? If I brought you out to a cool evening with a bunch of my most attractive friends, would you all be like, oh, I gotta get something. I gotta get something now. Which is good that you're not just passive, I guess. That is a starting point. It's better than just utter apathy and just being like, well, I don't even care at life. Like, that's better than that. But you'd probably be weird. If you just come out with us, be chill, be normal, you'd wind up going home with somebody who's so amazing, starting a relationship. But instead what will happen is you're gonna be weird. You're gonna try too hard. You're gonna do too much. You're gonna mess it up. Life can be easy. Life can be simple. What Julien explained there when he's building his product, you know very well, if you just focus on the most important thing first, you know you'd be rich. You know you'd be happy. You know you'd be prosperous. You know you'd find a lot of peace. But instead of that, you start looking at this other stuff because you're hooked on the chaos. Likewise, if you just shut up with that person you're attracted to, if you just shut up and be cool, you'd have a beautiful night together. But again, you can't handle that. So it is this ongoing self-sabotage. And if you don't resonate with your own success cannot land.
Think of it too, like there's this force inside of you that just keeps pushing it away, right? We're also focused on like making success happen. It's like, I want it, while simultaneously pushing it away. Don't believe me? What do you think procrastination is? What do you think self-sabotage is? Why do you think you're not taking action on a lot of those things you know will get you ahead? Like guaranteed right now, every single one of you. What's one thing, if you just did it, your life would improve? You all have that one thing. Why don't you do it? Oh, but I think I just need more techniques and stuff to make myself do it. No. You need to get out of your own way. You need to let go of that force that just keeps pushing away good things. People just squander so many good things, and they're like, well, it's just because I didn't have enough techniques. No. There's something inside of you that needs to be released. And it'll be very, very subtle, or sometimes not so subtle. But here's another great thing to bring your awareness to. Who are you, right? I said write down, I am, let it flow, and be honest. You can also examine core beliefs. Success is, what comes up? Don't give me the right answer. Be like, oh, success is amazing. For a lot of people, like success is scary. Success is a lot of work. Success is a lot of responsibility, so on and so forth. Now, linking that to who you think you are, if you're someone, for example, right now who doesn't work a lot, who isn't very responsible, are you going to allow yourself to succeed and go into that situation? No! Consciously, you're like, yes, but deep inside, it's like, hey, we're not very hardworking. We're not very responsible. Why would we ever go there? Let's stay with the familiar. And even in terms of your core identity, there's different patterns that run us. Okay, I've talked about this before. The one that ran me was the self-destructive artist. And I could map it out in my life. And this is what's crazy. If you look at your life, right, there's this famous saying that I'm kind of paraphrasing that gets passed around in the spiritual self-help world, which is, there's your childhood, But then since your childhood, nothing ever truly changes. On a surface, yes, right? You get older, you got a job, so on and so forth, but the patterns remain the same. And for me, it was that same thing. That self-destructive artist, like that's just me, had that as a kid, where I'd allow myself to succeed a bit and then pop it. Succeed a bit, pop it. And that would run me into my life. If you think of who you are too in terms of, your status and friends, the role you have in your group of friends, the people you deserve to be around, that still follows you into your adult life. You might move, you might make new friends thinking it's different, but you will find your way back, right? The other classic one, which you probably know, is Rocky, right? This underdog that needs to create these huge mountains to overcome. It's like, I need to create problems to then thrive and stuff. Classic self-sabotage. They can't let it be so easy because it really is. Like, objectively look at it. You're here, this is where you want to go. Guaranteed, especially with all the information out there now, you know what you should be doing. It's very straightforward. It's not hard. A lot of the things, it's like the codes have been cracked. It's, hey, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. You have the how-to. Why aren't you doing it? That's the big problem now. This is where we've been shifting, and you're probably going to see a lot more teaching shifting to it because the how-to's all out there. All the manuals are out there. You could probably find so many how-to's even for free. And people are realizing now in this whole area of life, this whole industry even, is like, why aren't people executing on the how-to? Now you'll get the simplified version, which is, just discipline and power through, develop work ethic, which is a good first step, but in the long run, terrible. Because what is work ethic? It's you beating yourself up and self-attacking. You do realize that the majority of self-help are people who just hate themselves so much and they love hating themselves.
I love all teachers. I love them all. But we know the gurus personally who say this stuff. Right. We know them. We do dinner with them. We know them. Okay, these people don't worry about inner game. And they'll say that, and then people come to me or Julien and say, but so-and-so said not to worry about inner game. You've never heard me say a negative word on a particular teacher because that's not what I'm about. So I say nothing, but in my mind, I'm thinking back to dinner with that particular teacher, and I'm like anybody who says, don't worry about inner game, I would be very, very aware they're probably good at teaching one side of the coin. There's another side of the coin that often it's the people who say that need this the most, sadly. And they can put on a good show at a superficial level on social media. But what do we know about social media?
It's real.
It's BS,
everything you see is the
yeah, if everybody was having as much fun as they showed on social media, there'd be no therapists, there'd be no antidepressants, it's complete BS.
Think about it too. Imagine you're some alien who arrives and all you see is social media. You're like, whoa, they're crushing it down there. And you're like, oh, wait a minute, right? This is most people, and this is where they're at in the self-help world, right? This is you, and there's this little demon inside of you, right? Very simplified. And this demon wants to drag you to failure, right? You, consciously, you want to go towards success. And there's this tug of war that's happening.
That's called the picture he's
I want to go, I want to succeed, and the demon's like, nope, nope, nope. So, what's traditional self-help? Hey, discipline the demon, whip it into shape, and get it on track towards success. So you're procrastinating, you're like, come on, demon, don't be so pathetic. Again, self-attack, the motivational fuel of the self-help spiritual junkie. Just do it, don't be a little loser, do it. Come on, demon, trying to discipline it. Work ethic. Now, is that better than just doing nothing? Yeah. Is it healthy? No, it's terrible. It's also not sustainable. Here's the key. When you learn how to let go, how to release that trauma, those patterns, those imprints from your childhood that run you into this day and age, you let go of the demon. And guess what? This whole force that's pulling you towards failure fades away. You shouldn't have to make yourself succeed. The question is, wait a minute. If I need to make myself succeed, doesn't that mean that the default is I'm making myself fail? That's what we assume, right? If I stop taking action, if I stop disciplining myself, do I just fail? Terrible. Why isn't the default I'm succeeding? And this is why we keep talking. Instead of work ethic, when you let go, what happens is you develop a work magnet, and you're just automatically pulled towards it. So much about success isn't actually doing, it's removing. Removing the blockages, letting it land. And you will also see opportunities everywhere. And this is also one of the key things to let land. We're talking about self-sabotage here. The craziest part is most of self-sabotage, 99% of it, you aren't even aware of it. You're lucky to catch that 1% in hindsight. Like, why do I keep self-sabotaging?
Yeah, it's really sad, guys, to be real with you. When you start seeing it, it's truly sad.
It's like blind spots, and you don't even know. It's like one of the most common things I hear from clients when I teach them how to let go and start taking them through it is, oh my God, I start seeing all these opportunities that were here all along that I didn't even notice. It's like the blinders start dissolving, and they're like, oh my God, success, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this.
You can only perceive what you can resonate with.
You want to know another good test? Imagine right now, being very modest, whoever you are, right? Or if you're watching this, like everyone has their problems, their excuses, right? I would succeed, but there's this thing and this that's blocking me, and if only. Imagine, being modest, I was transported in your body. Play this little game. I'm now you, and I'm stuck now, and I'm now you. I'm like, okay, like what's your name? Raymond. I'm now Raymond. I'm in your body, and I'm looking around. And say you're kind of looking at it as a show. Would I do better than you? Yes, I would do better. And in reality, if we just took anyone else and put them also in that person, you'd do better. Why? Because you wouldn't have the same conditioning, you wouldn't have the same blind spots, and you would see his current circumstances in a completely new light. And here's the beauty. He can do that too. You can do that. You can actually let go of all that conditioning that's keeping the blinders on, and it's as if a pair of new eyes are put in your head, and you're like, whoa! It's crazy. Two people will be in the exact same situation. One will only see problems, obstacles. The other will only see opportunities and success. That there comes from letting go. Because here's the thing. Not only will this little demon pull you back, but it will hijack your RAS, hijack your focus, and block out anything that will threaten the demon. Anything that will threaten that comfort zone of failure. And this is why letting go is so crucial. We're all easy, like rush to action. Yes, action is definitely required. But smart action is required.
Yeah, the way that you want to think about this is imagine that instead of being this person that's got to grind it out, imagine that you're this hot air balloon, okay? Just a thought experiment. And you're built to go way up in the sky, to have this amazing, amazing journey. But what happens is that you have these chains that are holding you down. Now, imagine these chains, even nastier or more disgusting, are like these freakish tentacles that are kind of plugged into you, and they're just sucking you dry. Okay, and so you're thinking, put more fuel into the balloon. And in theory, that could work. But what you really should do is snip the tentacles. That's what energy work and trauma release is about. So the best question that I think any human can ask themselves in life is, what else? Just say that word with me, what else? What else? Say it very loud for all the people all over the world that are in lockdown, that can't be here right now, that are like, wow, I've been sitting in my freaking apartment rotting to death, and all these people are having the best time of their lives in Miami, Florida. What is the best thing any human can say to themselves? What is it? What else? So, okay, if you're at home, stuck in lockdown, I'm so sorry, I'm disgusted and saddened for you, and that's what we're saying for you. What is the best thing that we can say, guys? What is that phrase? What else? So, going from that standpoint, what else? What does that mean? Somebody who's sitting there, and maybe they're homeless, an example. I don't take that lightly. I understand there's mental illness there. It's very, very sad. But say they're sitting there and they're fighting over a cardboard box, or they're thinking of where to get their next hit of drugs, or they're really dealing with something very, very heavy. The problem there, look, fighting over a cardboard box isn't inherently wrong. Maybe there's a pragmatic reason you need that cardboard box. I'm not taking away from that or diminishing it. But in reality, what if instead of saying the cardboard box, the cardboard box, the cardboard box, you said, what else could I do? Okay, just keep saying what else. Now, by the way, this what else question, that goes all the way from the bottom of, say, a cardboard box. Again, I'm not diminishing that, but all the way from the bottom of a cardboard box to being someone who runs a business and you're making $20 million a year and you're looking at your offers, you might say to yourself, wait a minute, there's this funnel that we have that's making us $3 million a year cash. Let's delete it. Okay, how many times do you think I've done that in my business? We'll have a funnel making $2 million a year, $3 million a year, and I go, nuke it. And you know, my staff are beside themselves. I go, listen, when you nuke this, we're gonna make $5 million off this other offer. You gotta nuke it, it's gotta go. Or maybe you're working with somebody, right? I think there was an old thing, there was a guy, I think it was Larry Ellison for Oracle, and they built up to me, I don't know, it was like a certain amount of billion per year, and he apparently like fired his whole staff or something. Don't quote me on that, but I heard something like that, right? And they said, why is that? He said, because this staff is able to get me to, you know, X amount of dollars, but they're not gonna get me to 10X that. Some people are just not built like that. They can't do it. They can go to a certain point, they can't go beyond it. For people like that, you make sure they're well taken care of, but you realize everybody has their limitations. Do you want to be one of those people getting fired by Larry Ellison because you have a limitation? Well, then focus on what we're going to show you here. The question is what? Yes, what? What? Great. So what you're doing is people will sit there and they're fighting and arguing and moaning and blah, blah, blah. And they're not saying to themselves, what else could I do with this time? What else could I do with this energy? What else could I do with this focus? So the lowest level of this that you'll see, okay, and this is sad and it's a real problem. It's very, very sad, but it's still a mental illness, is complaining, victim thinking, gossiping, and bashing people who aren't present. That is the biggest thing that you'll see. Why is that? It's an absolute trap. Somebody who could be making millions and millions and millions of dollars will sit there saying, I'm a victim, I'm a victim, I'm a victim. The system's against me. The system's rigged against me. And they're probably right, but they're focusing on it, right? So say you said that person, look, I get it that on some level you get to feel better by saying that you're a victim. I understand that. And you are a victim, and I'm sorry. But that being said, I've got to stop you from victimizing or from being victimized further. You've got to stop. So you've got to stop looping on this, and you've got to start saying, what else? Because we only have so much mental capital. We only have so much time capital. We only have so much focus capital. So if you're looping on victim thinking, you're not using your what else. It's not that I've never been victimized myself. It's that I'm too stingy with my time. I'm too stingy with my focus. Also, I'm a little bit of a pessimist. I think that if you just sit there going, I'm a victim, I think your life's gonna be really bad. I almost feel like the people that do this are optimists. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna sit there calling myself a victim and I'm gonna be rich somehow. I'm like, you're an incredible optimist. More power to you. That's amazing what an incredible optimist you are, that you think that you could sit there looping on your victimhood and somehow ever get success. The other one they do is they bash people who aren't present. You'll see this constantly. They sit there crap talking people. Those same people, inevitably, when they're done crap talking that other person, that's called triangulation in psychology. People with low-level mental illness do it constantly, but even regular people do it. Many of us can do that. What happens is that after we're finishing triangulating that other person and feeding ourselves with toxic chemicals from that, then what they typically do is they fight each other. You will see the same people that are bonding over attacking other people later get in beefs amongst each other. Anybody who tries to do that with me, by bonding with me, by crap talking other people that aren't present, I'm like, you're gonna do that to me. 1,000% chance you're gonna do that to me, because the reason that they're doing it is to hide from their greatness. They could do the most incredible things in the world. These are some of the best people in the world, and they're focusing on that rather than making cash, being happy, and doing things. They're looping on that. So things like victimhood, trashing people, complaining, scarcity, all of that stuff is nothing but limitation, limitation, limitation. What is it doing at a core function? It's releasing cortisol. Once somebody, you can be addicted to eating beautiful ribeye steaks, dating the most attractive people in the world, going to the most beautiful environments in the world, hanging out with the best people in the world, reading the most classic literature in the world, seeing the best movies in the world, traveling the world, loving God, having children, having prosperity, sharing good energy, and changing the world and putting your little stamp on it. Or you can sit there going, Timmy's annoying, blah, 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 blah. I'm a victim. Life sucks. It is scarcity. It's not my fault. And you can sit there looping on that instead. Well, meanwhile, somebody who's actually focusing on the win is looking at their offers in their business. They're looking at their funnels. They're looking at their social skills. They're looking at places they want to visit. They're cultivating relationships. They're having children. And they're loving life and laughing and just soaking up this brief, short experience of our existence. And you've got to decide which one it is that you're going to be. But here's a challenge. What Julien is showing you here is that we have that energy inside of us that we're addicted to. You can always tell what someone's addicted to by what they talk about the most. Do they complain a lot? Do they bash and crap talk other people a lot? Do they sit there being a victim? Are they negative? And so on and so forth. And what you got to look at is what feeds their soul. Look at what feeds their soul. When they're bashing people that aren't there, are they getting a high off of it? When they're complaining, are they getting energy off of it? When they're looking at limitation, does that make them feel bigger somehow? You can see it. You'll see it. They're like, ha ha ha, yeah, yeah, like that when they talk about how other people suck. There's an old expression in the Bible. First, don't complain about the chip. I'm misquoting this probably. Don't complain about the chip in your brother's eye first take out the plank in your own eye. The same people who I see bashing and criticizing other people are the most likely people, in my view, that should really be looking at themselves. Anytime that you spend bashing another person, you could be focusing on yourself. I see someone who's doing something I don't like, I'm like, man, that sucks what they're doing. You know what? Focus on my stuff now. I'm too selfish. I'm too focused on me, my growth, my success, and offering more value to the world through that process. Here's the challenge. We get addicted on it. Do you get addicted when you watch Planet Earth on your television and you see the world and you see forests and animals and life and the ocean, do you get a high off of that? When you meditate, do you get a high off of that? When you read classic literature, the best written work in the world, do you get a high off that? Or do you get a high off watching crap pop culture? Anytime that we make videos, what we try to do, we try to make something that will stand the test of time. We do an event like this, we try to do something that will stand the test of time, because we're not trying to add to the crap heap of today's latest gossip and complaints that in 1,000 years from now will look so stupid. Okay, I love Nelson Mandela's book. Loved it so much that I traveled to South Africa, went and met F.W. de Klerk, the guy who actually was involved in getting him out from prison, was the head of the country at that time. I was so inspired by The Long Walk to Freedom. But the one thing I didn't like in that book was when he started complaining briefly about some other political party. And I was like, bro, I don't want to hear this. You're Nelson Mandela. I don't want to hear that from you, because those people are gone. I want to look at this big story. I want to see the epicness. Now, I understand he's giving his perspective. That's fair enough. But to me, it seemed petty. It's like punching down. He's better than that. He's above that. Where are you putting your focus? That doesn't mean that you could never comment on something or clarify something or acknowledge or recognize that something's a problem. But again, stop complaining about the chip in your brother's eye. First, take out the plank in your own eye. It's a way to hide your greatness by burning up mental capital, emotional capital, time capital, etc., etc., etc. So if you're finding yourself looking at pop culture, if you're finding yourself getting off on complaining, victim thinking, gossiping, crap talking, negativity, and that feeds your soul, you've got to begin to change that. Because the problem is, if I bring you into a world with beautiful people who you could date, or people who you can make a lot of money with, or into situations that have massive opportunities, that will feel so unfamiliar to you. That will be literally toxic to you, because you are a metaphorical poop eater. Say that word, metaphorical poop eater. Say it. Metaphorical poop eater. That's right. You're paying me money to call you a poop eater now, right? So, welcome. So, you're a metaphorical poop eater. You can only survive on poop. People that get off on complaining, being victims, crap talking others, looking at others so that they can feel good. Why do they do it? Because it gives them dopamine. It's like, oh, someone else is worse than me, so I feel good, because my fragile confidence doesn't feel good unless I put someone else down and am better by comparison. Oh, I get dopamine from complaining because it makes me feel better. Is that a coping or thriving strategy? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Yeah, you're all saying it's soft because you do it and you're embarrassed, and I get it, and that's why we're here to help you. So ultimately, these are coping strategies that we do when we're addicted to negative energy, when negative energy has become familiar, when we've been traumatized and we're in this loop of things to re-traumatize ourselves and building webs around it. Now, I'm going to have Julien give his take on this, and I'm going to keep coming back to this web, but keep this idea in your headers. Are you someone who goes and eats the ribeye, dates the most attractive people, makes the most money, enjoys life, or are you a poop eater? Okay? Are you a metaphorical poop eater? And we've got to change it to where having success is familiar, natural, and automatic for you, so that that hot air balloon has the tentacles cut and you can ascend to your full potential.
Really take an audit, as you said, like on the daily thoughts. You know, we think every single day is like new, but in reality, the thoughts you have today, 90% of them are the same thoughts you had yesterday. Again, those patterns just keep running us. It's like that movie Groundhog Day. And every day we're like, it's a different day. It looks different externally. The weather's different. Nah, same patterns at play. So notice that little voice. What's the theme, right? What do you gravitate towards? You know, back in the day, I'm curious if you remember this, there's a show called Jerry Springer, the Jerry Springer Show. Anyone know that? I mean, it might still be going, right? And that was like the pinnacle of just like, what is this? But some people just love it. It's like, yeah, look at them go. Funny enough, that kind of like branched out, and that's most, you could say, pop culture shows now here today. Same thing. It's extensions of the Jerry Springer Show.
Feeding you poop. They got your head tilted back in a vice, and they're just feeding poop down your throat. You're like, feed me the poop.
And you know you like it when it feels like a guilty pleasure, right? Like, notice when you light up. This is key. If someone comes up to you and like, hey, here's some awesome news, how do you feel? If someone comes up to you and say, hey, do you want to hear the latest tea? Would you like some tea, some gossip? Would that excite you more? When even in the morning, like you're trying, like, oh, let me check the news, right? If you're someone who does that, do you get more excited? They're like, oh, you know what? Today's a good day in the news, good things happening, or, oh my gosh, did you see what that person did? Oh, did you see that little crisis there? People light up and love it. And here's the thing too, say somehow success was imposed on you. This will create once more so much self-sabotage, but say for some reason, like you win the lottery or it's imposed on you, all that is going to do is amplify the current patterns that run you. You think, for example, right now, if you're very miserable and you're just always trying to escape and numb how you feel, you think money's going to change anything? No. All that money will do is help and amplify those patterns, right? Where, say, instead of distracting yourself playing PlayStation, you can distract yourself traveling around the world. You're still distracting yourself. Instead of drinking cheap booze, you can buy the most expensive booze. Still numbing yourself. It's the same thing. It all starts now with those patterns. If you're not doing it now, no external thing's going to change that. You got to change it right here, right now. And realize, too, that what you start looping on, that hijacks your focus, your RAS. If you're someone who's always thinking about like victimhood, problems, people out to get me, that's all you're going to see. It's like these glasses you put on. How do you expect to see opportunities? How do you expect to succeed if that's what you see? That's what you're going to move towards. And again, I'm a victim. I'm a victim. That gets this life of its own, and you literally turn into this even more victimized person. It's crazy.
Note that word, life of its own. Note that word, life of its own. The tail begins to wag the dog.
Yeah. Look up things too, like learned helplessness. Key, we are just conditioned into this. And if you want a funny little side comparison, I use this all the time to really describe like how we think. And I think the show, at first I kind of like, oh, what is this show? But it's actually quite genius and links really well to explain trauma and letting go in states. The show Big Mouth on Netflix. For real. Funny show, but you'll see it's like these kids kind of going through puberty, and there's these like cartoon like creatures or monsters that represent like, you know, shame, so on and so forth. And there's this one character called Depression Kitty. And it's this cat, and it's basically the victim cat. And the cat will appear, and it's like in the kid's imagination, and the whole theme is, that was pretty tough, wasn't it? You're kind of a victim, no? Just lie down, just feel sorry for yourself a bit. And we all feel that pull sometimes. You can audit in yourself, like, what's that guilty pleasure, that pull? When things kind of go tough, what do you resort to? What's your default? A lot of people say, oh, that was tough. Oh, I kind of failed there. Oh, I should feel sorry for myself. Let me lie in bed, let me put on a little show, maybe eat some ice cream and just cry myself to sleep. That's the theme. What's your theme? You can even branch it out, obviously, beyond that show and ask yourself, if there was some weird imaginary monster that represented your mind, what would it look like? What would you call it? What does it keep talking about? What does it keep dragging your attention towards? Again, no matter how good things get, it's like, let me find my way back to that. Just like someone who's super negative. Here's some amazing stuff. I will still find a way to be negative. Challenge accepted. And they always succeed. Same here. I want to succeed, but I will still find a way back to failure. Challenge accepted, and you always succeed. And when you let go, what happens is that little monster, little depression kitty, fades away. And it's not just about using willpower, which is what we try to do. Again, control muscles versus release muscles. It's like, there's no depression kitty, it's like, that's a good first step, and that does create some distance, but then it's letting go of that charge. Realize that there's a certain emotional charge, an imprint, right, that's been put on you. And it's like this magnet, and you just keep getting pulled into situations. It hijacks your focus. It creates this whole theme, your whole reality, and you will secretly find situations that are aligned with it. You're going to find people who are aligned with it. You're going to get into relationships that are aligned with it for you to get your hit.
Let that replay. Let that replay what he just said there. You're building a web. Your entire life is BS. It's just this big, stupid web. That's it. It's just a stupid web that you built to get cortisol and failure and scarcity. It's this dumb, idiotic thing that you built. And the more willpower you use, the more of this idiotic web that you build. You pick a significant other that will re-pump that emotion you're hooked on. You will pick friends that will re-trigger you. You will only be able to work at a job that triggers you. You will put yourself into situations that trigger you. You think somebody coming from a low place, we bring them up to the mansion, give them a room, they're not going to be found in the bathroom smoking down meth? Of course.
That escalated quickly. It's like, what?
You know, some poor person on the street, you're like, hey, You got a room now? We'll give you a job. I'll pay you 6 figures a year. I'll give you whatever you want. They're still going to be in the bathroom smoking down meth. It's not going to change. You see people that come from very, very bad areas, and they tend to smoke cigarettes in many cases, right? And you'll see a look in the eye, and that look in the eye is the light of consciousness is dimmed. And what's happening is in that dimmed state, there's certain things they resonate with. They resonate with foods that will kill them, drugs and alcohol that will kill them. Anything to stay unconscious, because the trauma that's in them overwhelms them. They cannot live with themselves. And so they build this web, and it just expands and expands and expands, and then they do things to medicate it and to run away from it. Their idea of a party is to pile down a bunch of substances that's gonna give them a brief high and re-traumatize them. Their idea of a party is a re-traumatization party. And they call that getting crunk. And they glorify it like it's cool. You'll see people that are always crap talking others, and they're like, yeah, burn. And look, a little bit of that can be funny. You know, you can have the spice of life. But is that the spice or is that the steak? And for a lot of people, that becomes the thing. And they're spending their entire lives re-traumatizing themselves, re-traumatize themselves, re-traumatize themselves. And we would see this, where I would meet people who I want to build up. And I'm weird like that. Probably because I grew up with my own codependency issues. I would literally almost grab them by the scruff and drag them to the promised land. Like, most people have never made one other person a millionaire. I've not made, because that'd be arrogant, but I have been very, very forceful in motivating more people to becoming millionaires than I can count. I can't count them all. And many more who I've also really dragged to the finish line, kicking and screaming on dating. And let me tell you something. I'd think I'm helping. I'm a great person. I'm really helping. And most of them will find a way to ruin it. And what I observed was that when they weren't working on this, what I saw was they would get weird to go back to their main area. Like their brain, their reticular activating system, which is your selective focus, would ignore certain things, like we're all in Miami. Say right now, all of us right now, we're all in Miami. We're in a beautiful group. Perfect weather. Not on lockdown. Loving life. Wind in our remaining hair. Yeah, right, you see? But then somehow, I brought people to environments like this. They're banking it, killing it, crushing it, but find little small details to overly focus on. They find this little chink, it's like this parade outside the window, but they find a little speck of dirt on the window. They go, the speck! Look at the speck! I'm like, there's a parade outside. No! I can't enjoy the parade until we deal with this speck. And then in my life, a pattern that I have is I go, oh my God, really? Oh, I'm a bad little boy. And then I would scrub the speck and I go, here, mommy and daddy, do you love me now? I got rid of the speck. They go, there's another speck. I go, yes, mommy and daddy, beat me, mommy and daddy. And I'd scrub that speck and I go, look, I built a parade, my life's blood, the parade. And they're like, another speck. And I do this for say 2-3 years until I've wiped that window. It is the cleanest window on the earth. And then I say, it's clean. And then and because I took away their ability to get mad, they just start rolling on the ground screaming. They're just like, wah, wah, wah. Like, ask him, this has legit happened like 20 times. Legit happened like 20 times. Help someone to become a millionaire. Bring them around the world. Celebrity friends, hottest and most attractive people, fans, everything. Give it all. And they help me build it too. But look, I would give everything. We have a track record of building this out consistently. We know how to do it. And the end result is the person just rolling on the ground in their own feces, licking it off the ground. Just like, just pooping and eating it. Just like, I'm the poopy man. I'm the poopy man. Look at me. This is what I really was. This time, you thought I wanted that window clean? I like the poopy. I like that little dot on the window. Give it to me. Give me some poop. Just poop it in my mouth. And I'm like, I just thought you wanted a clean window. Is this really what it was the whole time? They're like, ah. And I'm like, and like, like, it's not exactly that, but sadly it's worse, because then they burn millions of dollars, they light it on fire, and you're like, why? And they're like, don't you know I like poop? And that's just what they are. They're poop eaters. And I still love them. I'm like, you know what? Let me give you a hug, you little poop eater. You're covered in poop. I love you anyway. I never say a bad word about you. I love you to death. Just do your thing. Keep in your poop. You know, just eat that poop. Someday when you're ready to stop, to put down the poop. You know, like all this time I thought your complaints were real. I basically was like, Mommy, Daddy, am I a good little boy? And I tried to fix it. And I realized, no, you're someone who came from a rough spot. You were traumatized. And that trauma, as much as we clown as being poop, was real. That trauma was real, and it freaking hurt you, and you got beat up somehow, some way, and you got screwed over. And that energy in you took you over and possessed you and took on a life of its own. And now it's all that you can resonate with. And that's why when we put you into a better situation, you can only focus on the specs no matter what parade is going outside. And then I thought that you just really wanted a very, 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 very clean window, and then that was just your thing. And so I cleaned it, and I cleaned it, and I cleaned it, and I said, I love you, I cleaned it. And I tried that because I had my own codependence. And then I realized, wait a minute, in every case, the end of it's just them rolling around in poop, screaming at me, and eating feces, and just being like, this was me all along. And I'm like, wow. And then I think, I wonder if I'm doing that. What's going on? I wonder if we're all doing that. And we can complain about the chip in our brother's eye, but we gotta take out the plank in our own eye. And that's where this work begins, because it is so easy to see this in other human beings, and the hardest thing in the world to see and recognize in ourselves. So that is what Julien is showing you here. He's trying to get you to see this pattern in yourself. Where's that big turd that you're chomping on and saying, I like it, this is me, and you know it's true? Are you ready to just take out the turd? Just take it out. Are you ready? Do you want us just to open it and just take out the turd? Just take it. Open your mouths. Come on, open it. Open your mouths, guys. And just pull the turd out. You can just pull out the turd. Some of you aren't ready yet, I can see. Some of you aren't ready to take it. You're like, I'm not ready. I like my turds. Right, you're not ready. Just take out the turd. Prosperity, love, growth, happiness. Pull out the turd. She would have an interesting time following up this part. Take it out. And now you're like, wait, the turd's out. You feel lighter. It's not disgusting. And now you can receive, right? You got to pour out the dirty water to receive clean water. That's the idea of energetic. You love it. That's the idea of energetically releasing, is that you let out this crap so you can bring in positivity. That's why, again, it's like you've got a turd in your mouth and you're like shoving the good stuff. You got this big turd, right? You're trying to shove it, shoving the good stuff, and you're like, I can't, right? And you've got to pull it out the turd to just the good stuff. Go. Go. Tell us about the turd, Julien.
There are places in the world I've never been, but I've heard. If you are a turd eater, if you're like, you know what, I maybe want a little bit more, you can go to these places and you walk in and there's this huge buffet. And you can literally just pick all the food you want and be like, you know what, maybe a little vegetarian stuff here. Oh, like every type of food, like delicious food, everything. And then there's a bunch of people standing up in a line and you're like, that one. And that person will eat it, poop it out, and you get to eat your poop. That poop. You get to craft that poop, whatever you want in it, and who's gonna poop it out if you want it heavy, creamy, liquidy, hard, and then it's like, here's the bowl, and you just chomp it out.
But at least that'd be authentic.
So
at least then you'd admit what you're doing. Instead of being, I wouldn't do that.
At least you're owning it.
At least you own it. At least you're being, I would respect that more. Look, try to observe what enlivens you. What enlivens the people around you? What do you get off on? What energizes you? If I sit there and talk about some negative stuff, are you like, yeah, they resonate with it in their soul. They like death, negativity, garbage, and poop at a soul level. And so you've got to get, and again, we saw some weird Frankenstein-esque situations because we have dragged so many people to the finish line. They helped too, okay? It's not just us. And we see what happens when they get there, and they're like, and it's like a freak show.
If you're someone, and I guarantee a lot of you relate to this, that really lights up when there's gossip or complaining, picture a reality where let's just say some genie appears and everything you're complaining about is fixed. It's like over this, like fixed, fixed, fixed. We're so obsessed with getting to that happy ending, right? The finish line. What about the day after? Let's just say right now everything's fixed and you cannot complain. It's physically impossible to complain because there's nothing to complain about. You're probably gonna start feeling stressed. Like, I need the outlet. I need to complain. That runs you. You have to let go of that and audit the people around you and the people where, how to put it, the people where you're like, those are my peeps, and you can really be yourself or who you think you are. So here's the thing. You think you want to hang out with like, successful people, right? The 5 people you surround yourself with. Here's the truth. If you surround yourself with those people, you're going to have trouble resonating and relating, and it's going to require a lot of effort. And when you're away from them, you're like, I can finally be myself. And then you go with, say, friends you usually hang out with and resonate with, you're like, now it can be me. What's the difference? Those people where it's like, now it can be me, what do you talk about? What do you connect with? And what you also start noticing is when you start doing this work, there'll be less of that pull towards that guilty pleasure. Again, I love this word, guilty pleasure. It's that I'm going to complain, guilty pleasure. I'm going to have a drink, guilty pleasure. I mean, that's another one, right? It's crazy that people have trouble, for example, doing 30 days sober. The fact that sober, was it November, October, is a thing? You know, that's insane. You want to know how most people get through the day? They wake up, they chug tons of coffee, then they shift to alcohol, they wake up and it's coffee, alcohol, coffee, alcohol, coffee, alcohol. The fact that they can't even be sober with themselves, with that energy, is crazy. And that's going to be the first step. It's going to do this audit.
Living in a first world country that like people for millennia would have been like, oh.
Now again, that doesn't mean like never drink coffee or never ever drink. No. But like you said, is that the steak or the spice, right? And what's the place it's coming from? But I mean, it's just insane. Like if you can't even be with yourself there, what's going on? But you're going to have to go there. That's venturing. That step 1 is awareness. You got to venture into that area and start getting a feel for what it's really like to be you. What energy, what parasite is there. Don't ignore it. That's the cheap way. That's the easy way out. I'm just going to bury my head in the sand, right? Distraction, distraction, distraction. Let me numb it. Drinks, food, drugs. Numb it. No. Challenge yourself to be with it. What's it like? What's the theme? What does it feel like? How long has this been there? And what you realize is, wow, this has been there a very long time. What have you tried so far to do to get rid of it, to change it? Have any of those strategies worked? Like, be honest, gun to the head, what's the truth? And you'll just realize how we're just running around, like spinning our wheels, thinking we're making progress, but deep down inside, nothing truly changes. And no one is above this. Like we said, you see it in others, turn around. What's your version? I've had that. Led me to a whole scandal. Literally, that's what it led me to. If I didn't do deep inner work, it'd still be running me here to this day. No one's above it. No one's above doing the work.
Yeah, and the people who think they don't need it are the ones who need it the most. It's like a drug addict, like, I don't need to stop this crack. Like, I'm fine. Like the ones that are like, and you'll especially see the ones that like cannot stand inner work. Like, I hate inner work. And it's like, you're like, yep, I know. Like you can see it. And again, to reconnect this to why this is so important for getting wealthy, social success, life success. Why is it? Because as you eat the poop, okay, as you munch those turds, what is the problem? Again, what is that question that I said is the most important question? What is it? What else? What is the question? What else? What is the question? What else? Okay, and there's another word I want to say here. It's called opportunity cost. Say that word. Opportunity cost. Say that word again. Opportunity cost. Say that word again. Opportunity cost. People try to take me to the poop place every day of my life. They're like, come on, let's see some poop. And I'm like, we're good. And literally that's why I'm like, we're chill, we're good. And it makes them mad. They're like, no, I want to eat poop with you, right? We can get mad at each other and eat some poop, have a poop buffet. And it infuriates them that I won't go to that space. But the reason that I won't go to that space is because I'm too stingy with my time. People that are at a high level can look at a situation and recognize it for what it is. You look at a situation, like if I look at someone and they talk for like a minute, I'm like, I know what you are. I know you. You're someone that if I hang out with, I'm gonna be less successful. You're someone that if I hang out with, I'm gonna be a loser. I know you. I know what you represent, because I don't look at people as Christopher or Mark or Jenny or Karen, the new word Karen, right? I don't look at people like that. I look at people as basic level things. One, what is their success barrier? How do they rate themselves out of 10? Have you ever seen us do exercise like that? We bring people to the front. We say how attractive you are or how high status you are out of 10. You ever see me do exercise like that online or anything? Yes. Okay, really good exercise. I look at that in people. Another one I look at is what is their emotional addictions. I'm like, what addictions does this person have? How much a day is this person happy? How much a day is this person sad? Another one that's very deep is, are they expanded or contracted? This is a really, really big one. Okay, are they expanded or contracted? Another one that I say is how much in abundance or scarcity are they in? If they're in scarcity, they need immediate CTA. Okay, this is a very, 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 very abstract concept. I did about 10 hours of videos about this coming up. The need to do a CTA right away to get value now is a very, very deep contraction, right? Somebody who's maybe starving in the street, they need $1 now. Somebody like Google, they're like, here, use every product and service that we have, take it all for free, we'll change your whole life. But by the way, we're gonna mine your data, be the most powerful country in the world and run the planet more than the government, okay? So it's that need, it's that ability to wait on the CTA, that ability to not need to take value right away, okay? But then later knowing where to put little CTAs. Those are called calls to action, or the ability to receive value, okay? So there's a healthy balance there. But are people expanded, contracted? What emotions are they addicted to? What success barriers do they have? How do they handle themselves? What's going on in their mind? I don't look at it as Chris or Mark or Steve. I just say, where are they at? How much value can they resonate with? If I bring this person to a party of celebrities, can they be cool or are they weird? If I bring them around people that are attractive who they might want to date, can they be cool or are they going to be weird? If I bring them into my business and do business with them in a partnership or whatever, when we make millions of dollars, will they be cool or will they be weird? Will they complain about little nonsense as a way to ruin their success, or will they have fun? If I hang out with them, will they joke around, laugh, and have a good time, or will they complain, crap talk, and go into a loop? Where are they going to be at? So when I look at people that are like, oh, I want to make millions of dollars and have all this success, I'm like, I know you. You're not ready for that. You're not ready for prime time, baby. You're not there. You're not ready for prime time, baby. I can see it in someone's face. I know they're not. And then I can also see, okay, someone is. I can recognize people like that at a faster rate now, because I've been through that process myself. I've had my own self-sabotage issues to deal with. I've had it before. I'm in a beautiful relationship and I keep picking fights with the person. And I'm like, why do I do this? Why do I get energy from this? This is when I was a lot younger. And then I realized that I'm choosing people that also get energy from that from me. And this is what people do to each other. You guys know one of the greatest causes for police calls is actually physical disputes between couples. Literally, they're getting off on fighting each other. How many couples do you even know that are even happy versus ones that are literally initially happy, that bonds them, and then later they just fight and fight and fight. So again, go into your body right now. Imagine the peace, prosperity, abundance, money, options, people that you're attracted to, calling you every day, cool friends, everything in life beautiful and easy and wonderful. Notice the gap in your body now. Where is that gap? What would you have to change? What would you have to let go of? Who would you have to become to make that normal? Could you imagine yourself being in a bar club and seeing someone you're very attracted to, saying hi to them being into you back, and it being completely normal? Could you imagine hanging out with me and Julien and some of our celebrity clients or very wealthy clients, being in a big mansion party and being completely normal? Can you imagine waking up in a mansion overlooking the city? It's beautiful and completely normal. Can you imagine being out on a date with your significant other for the night and just enjoying a movie? Maybe you're at an IMAX theater. Maybe you walked down a beach. Maybe you went hiking. Imagine that instead of procrastinating and looking at garbage that's meant to suck your attention and waste your time, you just worked on the main things that would actually advance you and get you to the next level that you already know that you should do, and you'd work on it for a day, and instead of getting a bunch of dopamine spikes and weird feelings in your body and tension, it would just be completely normal to do that thing. And then to see that come to fruition, and then to launch it and see millions of dollars come in, and do that again and again, and to take that same process and to scale it, and to scale that again and again, have money flowing in, people who you're seeing, good significant other, beautiful children. You know what, my kids, I've never argued with them, I've never yelled, I've never touched them, I've I give them a hug, but I've never hit them, and I've never raised my voice at my children. And people say to me, are you afraid that you're spoiling them? My kids are the most active kids I've ever seen. My children literally laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. The entire day they just laugh. And they run in circles with endless energy, and they create things. That's all they want to do is to create. This is what Julien talked about, the work magnet. They create things, they laugh, and there's not a drop of trauma in them. They're so funny. If they were here, you guys would be cracking up. It'd be the funniest thing you've ever seen in the world. And we just walk around as a family, and we're just winning. People are like, you guys are awesome, and my kids are hilarious. That's what I want to see for you. But we have to make that a normalized process. What happens in that process is that when you are in scarcity or negativity, you go, no, this doesn't feel normal. I don't like the way this feels. I don't resonate with this. I don't want to be around people like this. I don't want to be like this myself. I don't want to waste my valuable, scarce attention span, time capital, emotional capital, energetic capital. I don't want to waste it on this. I want to focus on the things that get results. I want to be results oriented, not sitting in some kind of weird loop eating a turd log. I'm not a poop eater. I'm a winner. I like good things coming into me, and it just feels natural. But again, you've got to resonate with it. And I've been very, very blessed to watch many, many people go through this process. Start off very negative, traumatized, had them release that trauma, and come out the other side completely transformed. And that is why Julien called it what? What did Julien call his program? Transformation Mastery. And that is what we meant here. And this is meant to apply to everything from being smooth in social interactions, to having that work magnet, and it being easy to focus on the right things, to building real prosperity. It's what I believe the ultimate foundation of what you'll ever learn. It is what we have seen with sustained success in people who had transformations and people who failed. It was the single most important common denominator, and that's why we put so many years in focusing on this.
Give him a hand.
Thank you.
I guess just a couple last things to add to this, which I love that you brought up the kid example. It's true. Every single one of you weren't born like this. You weren't born, and that's why I call it also like a parasite. Like, you didn't come out of your mom's womb, and then like needy, complaining, too tight, all this stuff. Like, that didn't happen. You came in. It's like, too tight, come on. Like, that didn't happen. You came in and you were expansive. Everything was good. What happens too when you're in abundance? You want to create. By the way, this is key, especially in terms of a purpose, right? It's you producing, being at the cause. You can see scarcity is receiving. Give me, I need. It's all about what I get. Abundance is, I'm already good, I have it all. It's about what I create. And of course, there has to be a good balance, but the primary focus is I'm creating, I'm generating, and that's the reward. I'm enjoying the results. I'm getting results, but also enjoying them. If I don't enjoy them, those are not results. And it's crazy and baffling how so many people say, oh, when I was a kid, I just remember being so light and free. And then what happened? The conditioning, the trauma, the patterns that imprinted on you, the parasite got you and hijacked who you are. And then people live their lives this way, and it just keeps building and building. It has life of its own to the point where, they're old, they're on their deathbed, and at the very end only do they realize, what happened to me? It's like only then who they really are kind of resurfaces, and like, the parasite got me, done. And they have all these regrets, and they just realize they got fooled. They got taken advantage of, they got fooled, a parasite got them. If you right now, the best time of your life was when you were a child, that's when you remember being free, expressive, laughing, fun, you're messing up. It should get better and better and better. It's not the opposite. And the fact that everyone considers this normal, like, oh yeah, when you're a kid, it's the best time. No. What about when you get older, it's the best time? Every day it gets better and better. It's a state of continued ripening. Like, oh, I thought this is as good as it gets. Oh, wow. And every day you're surprised how it gets better and better and better. You can't even imagine how it gets better and just keeps getting better. Now, here's the cool thing. Because you weren't made like this, you weren't born like this, it was something that came after the fact, you can let go of it. This isn't you. It's like shaking it off, right? Classic example you probably heard me talk about, the Lord of the Rings, Two Towers. That old king, like the little, worm tongue, that's the parasite. When we look here, and this is an even deeper layer that you should all cultivate too when it comes to social awareness and social intelligence, it's learning how to see that parasite in others. Learning how to see, okay, what state are they in? What is running them? See that beneath the surface. You see that, by the way, you'll literally predict their future. You'll predict the future, predict what'll happen, just as with the complaining, the triangulation, like, oh, that'll happen to me. You'll see so much of that, and no joke, it's insane. You literally feel like some Jedi or like Neo in the Matrix where you're seeing the code. It's like, hello, like, right? It's like, I'm Chris. And you're just like, like parasite, parasite, parasite. This is what'll happen. This is their future. Unless they do work. Unless they do the work, we can literally, almost all the time, predict the future. And you will too. And you also see the warning signs. Most people are blind to it and they see it after the fact, right? They get into a toxic relationship after the fact, like, what was I doing? The parasite got them. They get into this little triggered pain body attack. Oh, what happened? The parasite got them. So awareness is one. But remember, you can let go of this, just like in the two towers, right? Getting rid of the little worm tongue and shaking it off. You'll see this old, like, rotting away king and, like, boom, come back into his prime. That's you. And we see here, it's like, come on, come back. Remember who you are. And don't let the parasite fool you, trick you. And this is the other crazy part too, by the way. When Owen said, for example, go into your body, notice what that feels like. I bet there's a few of you who couldn't even feel anything. A few of you just stuck here. You're trying to bring your awareness down? Nope, just stuck here, living in your head. You've been resisting experiencing what's in there for so long, you can't even connect with it. There's even clients, and this is very common at first. It's like, hey, here's how you let go. Here's how you release. And I guide them through it. And they're like, but I have trouble feeling that, right? And it takes a while for them to learn how to inhabit their bodies. It's crazy, right? So that's going to be the first barrier, blasting through that resistance and becoming aware of it. And then the next step is learning how to let go of it. And when you do, once more, things get better and better and better. And it doesn't take away from, say, worldly success. It doesn't take away from action, but it changes your relationship to all of that. Action suddenly becomes a lot more effortless. You're doing a ton of work, but it doesn't feel like it, right? You've all had those moments. Like, we tend to think, oh, when I'm like having fun and playing, like say you're playing some video game that's really complicated, it's crazy how you can concentrate and just play for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, but not in other areas. That's when it shifts. You're still putting in all the work. Like us here talking, it's still a lot of work. Like this here is all just off the top of our head. We didn't pre-plan this. Effortless. For most people, they're up here and it's like, the parasite, and they're fighting the self-sabotage, the little demon.
We're in a bar club. We just have the most fun of anybody there on many given nights. Nothing prepared, having fun, sharing good energy, no effort, and we don't go home tired from it. We go home feeling high.
Gives you energy.
We're more high than somebody on Molly, and we're sober. And probably heals the body, in my personal opinion. It's just my personal anecdotal opinion, because you get such a good feeling in your body. It's literally, have you ever had that feeling like you feel like your body's being healed energetically somehow? Like just like your body gets these like waves of healing energy? We get that from public speaking or from going out or from working. So you can imagine the competitive advantage when you're working from that space. It's like it's like a race car that's aerodynamic rather than having these brakes on it, these governors that are holding it down.
Yep. So again, take it in. It is possible. You've been there before. You can get there again. But you do have to bring your awareness to it. Become aware of what's running you, the energy, the patterns, how it hijacks your thinking, your focus, the reality you live in. Like right now, we're all in this room, but guaranteed you're all experiencing it very differently, right? You might have a glimpse too where you temporarily snap out of it, right? Known as a peak experience, taking altitude. When that happens, take note, because you will get sucked back down. Take in the reference that you can get out of this little trap. But you got to make it a priority.
And we can see it in you. You got to understand, like, when we're talking to you, we can see what's going on. It's like a doctor, and we have no judgment. We have awareness, but no judgment. Because it's like a doctor's like, oh, this guy's got cancer, this guy's got heart disease, this guy's got this crazy skin thing going on. It's like you're not even judging the person because you see so much of it, right? You can see it in yourself too. So you don't judge it, but you can see it in other people and just be aware of it, and you can see right through them. Okay? Like you can look at someone and see right through them because you know what's going on with them. You're not seeing them at the surface. Fred, Jenny, Karen, Chad, whatever it is, right? You're seeing right through them because you see what's going on with them, okay? I want you to imagine, okay? This is really about just cleaning the varnish, right? Okay, just cleaning all the crap right off your soul. I want you to imagine right now that you're dead, right? You're dead. Now let's think about this for a minute. I would predict to you that 99% of your thoughts are based largely on the following. One of them would be social conditioning, just things that you heard elsewhere that you never even consider, unconscious social programming. The other would be biological drives, I'm hot, I'm cold, I'm aroused, I need to go to the bathroom, whatever, right? Hungry. Another one would be your ego. Am I cool? Am I not cool? Another one would be addictions, because your addictions, your body's drive to re-feel certain emotions you're addicted to will keep pulling you back to that. Another one would be what we like to call RAS flips. In other words, that RAS part of the mind, the whole what else component of the mind, that is basically just like warping perception continually. Like, look, you can recognize when perception is being warped in another person, right? You're like, oh, they're wrong. It's like, so like they're wrong. They're being crazy. Oh, you see it every day. You probably saw it 50 times a day, but you never stop and think where you're wrong. So again, that energy is warping all of that, right? That energy is doing that. Now imagine that you died right now. Okay, imagine that you died. So now you no longer have a body. Your body's gone, right? Body gone. Bye-bye body. Your ego is gone because you don't need to be cool or not cool anymore. The social conditioning is gone because the people back on that tiny little planet Earth, all that social conditioning is gone. The addictions are gone because you don't have that addiction in the body anymore, the poop eating addiction or whatever. All that RAS manipulation from your biology is gone. What's left? You're floating through space as pure awareness without a thought in the world. And now you're in your most core state. And so now ask yourself, what is that part of you? And how can you operate from that space? Think about it as though you have a physical intelligence and a spiritual intelligence. And in our physical intelligence, we tend to focus on things like, narratives that other people agree with, right? It's like, oh, it's not what's really true. It's, is it okay to think this? Or am I okay to think this? Most people do that, right? It's not, is this true or not true? Is it okay to think this? That's our physical intelligence doing that. Likewise, your ego, that's part of your physical intelligence. That's the intelligence of the body. Am I hot? Am I cold? The biological imperatives, the biological drives, that's the intelligence of the body. The different addictions, the poop eating, that's the intelligence of the body. The RAS flips. Your body's very selfish and it will manipulate perception to make you feel like you're right, to get dopamine. That's the intelligence of the body. What is the intelligence of the soul? And that's why you'll find that when you do meditation, you get back in touch with the intelligence of the soul. Because rather than trying to get a dopamine spike, you're depriving yourself of a dopamine spike. If you ever jump in a cold plunge, for example, or a really, really hot sauna as another example, it puts you in touch with your soul. Because in that cold water, you're depriving the body of the temperature that it wants. In many religious practices, they use food fasting to get in touch with your spirit. Because again, you're depriving the body. You want to know another thing that's funny? When you get reputational damage, when your reputation just gets obliterated, what's funny is it removes the dopamine that you're getting from your rep. So when everyone's like, you're amazing, you're awesome, flooding you with dopamine, that's the physical intelligence. When your reputation gets damaged and you just let go and you don't feel the need to respond because you're just going to focus on the what else and adding value. You're trusting in God. Letting go. You don't need to defend yourself. It's all good. Just move forward. Doesn't mean you can't clarify things, but you're not needing to compulsively. Puts you in touch with the intelligence of the soul. So anytime that you're cutting off that RAS flip thing that you have going on, or addictions that you have going on, like a dopamine detox, for some people it could be no FAP, whatever it is, food fasting, any, sauna, cold plunge, meditation. Anytime that you're withdrawing from the physical intelligence, it puts you in touch with the intelligence of the soul. And that is what Julien is showing you with letting go. He's trying to put you in touch with the intelligence of the soul, which has so many more options in front of it. That multi-million-dollar idea may come from there. That transcendent performance may come from there. And that's what you want to access. And when you do, commonly you'll see that people perceive you as superhuman. But it's not that you're superhuman. It's that you're aware that there's something more in you that you can access. And from that space is where you may find the gold. So that is what Julien is showing you here with letting go. And that is why we call it transformation mastery. You pull out that big turd. You stop feasting on that poop, covering your face in a brown blanket that was disgusting. And you say no, and you pull it out. You pull out all the poop, and then you take and you drink from that water of the soul, and you get in touch with that, and you find that presence inside of you. Even me saying this now, it's awakening something in you just a little bit.
Do take in the large sense of unity too doing this. But everyone, eyes closed. And just take a few deep breaths. Let things settle a bit. Making each breath last a little longer than the previous one. Each inhale a little longer. Each exhale a little longer. Breathing in, breathing out. Sitting here in this room. Last day of this amazing event. And I want you to visualize here the ceiling collapsing. You're sitting here taking in the deep breaths, and imagine the ceiling collapsing, and that's it. This was it. That last breath there was your last moment alive. It's over. What comes up? Just notice the thoughts, the feelings. I wish I had more time. I thought I had more time. And just keep breathing into whatever comes up. Staff rushing down. What happened? Finding out that the whole room collapsed. Going through the rubble. Calling your family, letting them know. Calling loved ones, letting them know. How would they react to the news? Receiving those calls? Are there any regrets? Any words left unsaid? Things you wish you could have told them, but that they'll now never know? Who comes to mind? Now let's move forward to the funeral. Who's there? Who's there because they want to be there, they care, and who's there just out of politeness? What are the conversations like about you, your life? And how do you feel about it? Who are the people you wish you could just come back to life for, just for a moment, and just say, I love you, thank you? People you might have undervalued. I just wanted you to know I valued you. People you'd say I'm sorry to. And how do you feel about your legacy, the impact? Looking back, that was it. Are you someone who added value to the world? Who contributed? Did you live up to your potential? Or are you someone who might have just taken? Are you proud of the life you lived? Did you milk the experience to the fullest? Or are there some things where, I thought I had more time. Why did I put this off? Why didn't I take action on that? Why didn't I allow myself to perhaps feel happier? Did anyone truly see you? Not the front, but the real you? Or did you go through life simply hiding behind this wall? Just breathe into whatever comes up. And we're going to shift perspectives here. I want you to imagine now having a second chance. What comes up hearing that? A second chance. The world giving you a second chance, the universe, God, a second chance. What would you do differently? what would be the first thing you did? Coming back to life, the first thing you did. First person you'd call, what would you say? Would you tell those people, I love you, I'm sorry, you matter? Those words left unsaid, would you tell those people? What would change in terms of the direction? Who you were? What you've been doing? Would that change, and in what way? What would change with this second chance so that when this moment eventually comes, because it will, you perhaps feel differently about it? And just take a few deep breaths. And I want you to make a list here. What would be the top 3 things that would change with this second chance? Coming back to life, what would be the top 3 things that you commit to? Commit to doing, commit to being? What would they be? And I want you to take these 3 things with you, because you now do have a second chance. It's not over. How are you going to live from this moment on, from this second on, so that when this moment comes, you look back and you're proud and you're happy of the legacy, the person. There are no words left unsaid. What would change? This is in your control. This is in your power. You just have to commit. And what we're going to do now is we're slowly on the count of 5 going to get ready to come back to the present moment. You now have this second chance. This is what you called die before you die. You may have realized some things that unfortunately most people realize when it's too late, but it's not for you. That second chance people usually hope for, you actually have it. Are you going to take advantage of it? Will things change? Take a few more deep breaths. And we're going to get ready to come back on the count of 5. 1, feel the floor beneath your feet. Feel that life force inhabiting your feet, your toes. Life coming back into your legs. Feeling life, that energy move up into your stomach. The warmth, the strength, that love feeling moving up into your chest, into your shoulders, out your arms, into your hands and fingertips, back up into your neck, your face, the top of your head, your entire body. Once more, feel the floor beneath your feet. 2, your entire body now, beaming with light, glowing. 3, bring your awareness one more time to those 3 things you commit to being and doing differently. 4, with your eyes closed still, shift your awareness to the environment around you, sitting here, listening to my voice, getting ready to come back to the present moment, ready to come back feeling energized, having reconnected to a really authentic part of yourself, taking this with you, having realized things, being lucky enough to realize things that unfortunately most people never do. Getting ready to come back to life. You have this second chance. It starts now, and open your eyes on the count of 5. Take a moment to come back. Get used to your surroundings again. And perhaps write down those things you committed to while it's fresh in your mind, the top 3 things. And now the question is, it's in your control. All those things you realized, you can choose to keep putting them off. You can choose to feel sorry for yourself, or you can take action on it. It's not too late. Perhaps wiggle it out, stand up, bring that life back, And maybe give a high five to the person next to you, welcoming each other back. Come on! Now, a couple things here. These realizations, this here is a very shortened version. I teach this in my programs. I personally do this type of meditation every 3 to 4 weeks myself, and it just always reconnects me to that truth. When you put yourself in that state, just as Owen was saying, now you don't have to impress anyone. Now you don't have to lie to yourself, be in denial. You're dead, it's over, and like real data comes up. When you do this once more, it's not too late. You're alive now, you're back. Right now you should be beaming with hope and excitement, having realized this, being thankful for it, and take action on it. Take action on it so once more, you live life to the fullest. Let go of what's holding you back. Get rid of the parasite. Reconnect with who you are. Remember who you are. And from that place, 1 foot in your essence, where you come from, zoomed in to the character that you play, 1 foot in the physical, go crush this thing called life. Milk it for every drop it's worth, so that when this moment comes, you look back and you're like, yes. Give yourselves a hand.
Like, this program is such a game changer. The way everything's structured and the material, it's been already, even for me, it's just been, I'm noticing a crazy change in the way that my whole life's like playing out.
What you put together is just incredible. There's nothing like that.
I've just jumped like a million levels. It's just been a complete 180 for my experience of existing. That's awesome.
It's just been so huge in terms of so many of the things I'm finally understanding and realizing and epiphanies I'm having.
What you do is a huge inspiration to me, and I think it's one of the most beautiful things you can give to another human in this entire world.
You saved my life, man. I'm telling you, this is real, man.
Sometimes all it takes is just one person who believes in you. Find people who are where you are in life and model them, work with them. I would not be here if I didn't have people who held me accountable.
Wow.
I just felt a click and things are changing.
This program was just top notch.
Seriously, like, this is a masterpiece. This is perfect.
Everything, the way it's set up, the live calls, like all the support from the coaches is incredible.
It's been nuts.
I just had my tears of joy.
This was the best decisions I ever made.
Thank you for creating something wonderful like this.
This program was phenomenal.
This program was amazing.
This program has definitely changed my life.
I know for a fact I'm in the right place.
This is exactly what I was expecting from the program.
It's been spectacular.
I feel really lucky to have found you.
Thank you so much, Julien. It's worth every dollar.